Hello, everyone, and welcome to your math lesson for today. We are in topic 9-9 and almost at the end of this very long chapter. And many of you have told me this hasn't been too hard. The tricky part has been the symbols. Well, let's look at our question for today. How can I compare a three-digit number that is greater than or less than another three-digit number? This is very similar to what we did yesterday, except we are going to add one more thing, one more piece to the puzzle. The hardest part has been these symbols. This is what many people have told me, and it is a little tricky. You just have to remember that when the mark opens first, when it's open on this side, okay, that is greater than. Okay, it just means bigger than. So we might say, for example, something like this: 6 is greater than 4. 6 is bigger than 4. And we can flip it if we want by putting the pointed end, the closed end first, and that's less than. Okay, so we would say 4, oops, 4 is less than 6. Oh, it looks like a 1 there, doesn't it? 4 is less than 6. We just have to find a way to memorize these things, okay? Greater than, less than. It's very important, and it's going to be in your work all of today and tomorrow. And of course, if numbers are equal, we use the equal sign. So let's take a look back at something we did yesterday. Look at these two three-digit numbers, 247 and 234. The way that we learned to compare them yesterday was to look at the place value, starting with the bigger number first, the hundreds. Well, if we look at the hundreds here, both of them are 2. Well, we can't tell which number is bigger by looking at the hundreds because 2 equals 2. That means they're the same. So when that happens, what are we going to do? Right, we have to move on to the next place value, which is the tens. And now we can see that the numbers aren't the same. We have a 4 and a 3. Well, which one is bigger? Right, the 4 is greater than the 3. And because of that, we're going to say that 234, the bottom number, is less than 247. Or 247 is greater than 234. Remember, there are always two ways to write this. Okay, so we might also see something like this. Look at the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. They're all the same. Now we don't have to worry about greater than or less than because they're equal. 526 equals 526. Okay, so the tricky part is going to be just remembering those symbols. Which one is greater than, which one is less than. Stacking the numbers like this is what we learned yesterday. Today we're going to look at another way we can tell if a number is greater than or less than. Okay, so now we're going to look at our old friend, the number line. And you can see that this number line only has one number on it. Well, let's read what it says over here. This number line shows only one number. Name a number that is greater than 256. A number that is greater than 256. Okay, well, I'm going to keep this simple and say 257, right? 257 is greater than 256. Now let me go back to that paragraph. Then name a number that is less than 256. Okay, well, I'm going to choose the number 255. All right, and then it says show your numbers on the number line and explain why you are correct. Well, why do I say that 255 is less than 256? because it comes before it on the number line. That's it. And why do I say that 257 is greater than 256? Because it comes after it on the number line. Okay? So when we're looking at a number line, anything that comes before a number is less than, and anything that comes after that number is greater than. That's it. The number line, we'll just see a number line now with one number on it, and we'll still have to tell whether or not a number is greater than or less than. Okay, so now let's listen to somebody else explain it.
You can write numbers that are greater than or less than another number using a number line. What do greater than and less than mean? When a number is greater than another, it is a larger quantity. When a number is less than another, it is a lesser quantity. What number is 1 less than 325? 324 is 1 less than 325. How can you show that 324 is less than 325? You can place 324 to the left of 325 on an open number line. 324 is less than 325. What number is 1 more than 325? 326 is 1 more than 325. What number is 2 more than 325?
Select your answer.
$327 is 2 more than 325. 327 is greater than 325. To show that 326 and 327 are greater than 325, you write the numbers in order from left to right on an open number line. You can find your own numbers that are greater than or less than a given set of numbers. The numbers between 323 and 326 are greater than 323 and less than 326. 325 is greater than 323 and less than 326. Now you know how to compare numbers using an open number line.
Great job!
You can write numbers
So now let's look in your book on page 410. It says write a number to make each comparison correct. Draw a number line if needed. Well, number 1 says 461 is less than 467. That one's already done for us. Now look at number 2. Something, and you can choose any number you want, is less than 470. And there are a couple of ways you can do it. Let's try the number line way. So I'm going to draw a number line. I know it's not very straight. And I've got the number 470 here. Okay. And I'm just going to choose a number that's smaller. Well, I'm going to go with a number that's 1 less. And if we go one step back, we have 469. And that's what I'm going to write here. And how am I going to read it? 469, 469, there we go, is less than 470. So what I want you to do is choose any number you want to put here, okay? And you can use a number line. Please don't use all easy numbers like 0 and a million, okay? Just plug in a number that makes sense here. Now, be careful with number 6. Look at the sign. Number 6 says equal. Okay. And then for number 7 through 15, you're doing exactly the same thing. Read the sign and then make up a number that makes sense. For numbers 16 through 18, it says write less than, greater than, or equal to make each comparison correct. Okay, number 19 is a higher order thinking question, so be careful there. And then on page 412, you just have to read these carefully. Remember, math is sometimes just words. Sometimes there are no numbers, okay? Or sometimes there are numbers, but they're hiding in a story. So read these carefully. And your work for today is in your math textbook. Okay, it's pages 410 to 412. And then head on over to the Envisions website and do any of the activities that you still haven't done, including today's quick check. And that's it today, boys and girls. We're almost at the end of the chapter. You're doing great so far. The end.